want to make it clear that I'm not against traffic calming and I'm not against bike lanes. I think the combination of both on 9th Street is a dangerous situation now, and that we should be voting down this and asking for a new motion that does separate them out and asks that Department of Transportation work with the community the same way we did with 4th Avenue in terms of finding the best solution for the bike problem. The reasons I'm saying that is we were given, for example, at that meeting, Vanderbilt Street as the example, which has what basically is proposed on 9th Street. They said 9th Street with the left turn lane takes away a point of focus of a vision because someone coming down now has to look at 2 lanes coming up and the crosswalk and traffic behind them. 4 points of vision, it's confusing. The traffic calming will be with the left turn lane, just 1 lane of traffic, and the crosswalk. Don't have to worry about the car behind you. I'm not sure why, but you don't have the 2 lanes. In that, they don't show bikes. They don't count the bike lane there. If you add the bike lane to it, you're not calming the traffic, you're adding more to it. It's a busy street, has 2 bus routes, has 4 bus turns, has a C-Town, post office, a Y, laundromat, 2 chain drugstores that need deliveries, that people have to double park to drop off things. The small little store near me, Second Helpings, 2 doors from me, which many of you know is small, doesn't do much, you know, it does business, it's not open late, it's not a full restaurant, has 25 to 30 deliveries a week. That's not counting customers coming in, that's not counting the owner's need to fill his car when he does catering and do deliveries. That's just normal business for a tiny store. Multiply that out by the large stores that are there and see how putting in a bike lane and saying, oh, well, we'll let people park in it, is really going to help and really solve the problem. We were told years ago we can double park on 9th Street the way one-way streets can. The precinct captain told us at a block meeting that we would be allowed to do that since it wouldn't block the buses. There'd still be plenty of room because 9th Street is wide, and that lasted about a month until the meter maid started giving out tickets, and the priest captain has changed 2 or 3, if not 4 times since then. So whatever we get promises, and I thank Bill de Blasio, Councilman de Blasio, for standing up and getting that promise. We don't feel the promise is going to stay, and until, especially when we think that a bicyclist will end up getting hurt on that block. The other point to the traffic calming, which will really be traffic congestion, is with 1 lane of traffic only now, with the bike lane on the right. If you're in that lane, you have to be in that lane, and want to make a right, you can't pull over the way normal traffic can, over to the crosswalk and into the area where the parking lane is. If you've got a bike lane there, you have to stay in that lane and turn. We all know that if we ever drive down the right side of Ocean Parkway, where people have to stop and look for the bike and wait, and if you drive on the right side, you can't really stay there. So that's what's going to happen. We're replacing a left turn lane, which will be good, with a right turn lane that doesn't work. So we're going to have traffic backed up on every single block because there really isn't room to calm traffic for 2 lanes of traffic, which, you know, as Mr. Blasio says, is okay for us to stop, but is legally still not allowed to stop in, compared to double park, which is legally allowed to drop people off. So we don't know how long, those rules are in the books. We don't know how long the okay will be. So we now have a lane of traffic that can't make right turns easily, that will block, bike lanes that we can't stop at. I don't see how that calms traffic or that will help the traffic. The promise is that there'll be fewer trucks and slower. The trucks, the cement trucks that come from Gowanus still have to be there. The DOT trucks that come up with asphalt from the asphalt on Hamilton Avenue still have to be there. The buses will still have to be there. We won't be losing traffic. Every delivery on 7th Avenue, even though 9th Street's not a truck route above 4th Avenue, still considers that local. When a 40-foot trailer delivers to D'Agostino on 7th Avenue, they come down 7th Avenue and they make the right on 9th Street because it's the only place they can do it to get to the truck route. So they're doing it locally. We can't stop that. We would love to have traffic calming that'll stop the trucks, but those trucks are going to be there with whether we have it or not. So keeping the trucks, keeping the need for deliveries, adding bicycle lanes to it, telling people to come up to that is just, to me, idiotic and asking for trouble on all parts.